welcome back to my channel, Connecting with Spirit. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through how to sit with yourself and process out your emotions. And why this is so important is that emotions are energy, they're energy in motion. And if you don't identify what your emotions are and process out that energy, the energy becomes stuck and it gets trapped in your emotional body, and it can cause all sorts of issues for you because the energy can't flow then as it should. And eventually the energetic blockages, the emotions, can manifest as physical illnesses and ailments. In order to pretty much get your attention, because there's nothing like physical ailment or pain to get your attention, in order for you to dive deep into that and start asking the questions about why this is happening and get to the root, because very often it is an emotional issue that's a root of the physical problems. So yeah, really important to keep on top of this, to process out your emotions, in order to keep that energy flowing optimally as it should be. So I'm going to take you through just a little demonstration of how I like to sit with myself and process out my emotions, and then at the end I'll give you some alternatives to this, because it might suit some people, it might suit others. It just depends on you and how you feel, and it's important to find the right method for you. So we're gonna do that, and yeah, we're just gonna connect into the body now. So if you'd like to start, we're going to start off by taking 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, just to bring everything down. And the first thing I like to do is heart breathing. So I've just done a video up on how to heart breathe, which I'm going to link down in the description box below. And heart breathing is really nice technique to do in order to regulate your emotions, especially if you are in a heightened emotional state or hyper aroused. You've been triggered and your emotions are kind of all over the place. It's a really nice thing to do just to bring everything back down into a neutral state. So I would recommend doing that first, before trying to identify what your emotions are, to just bring yourself back down into balance by connecting in with your heart and breathing in your heart for however long is comfortable for you, for however long you feel the energy kind of coming down and you get into that neutral zone of peace. And from there, it's nice to set the intention that you want to connect in with your emotions, your emotional body. So I usually would say that 3 times: connect me into my emotions, connect me into my emotions, connect me into my emotions. And I usually like to close my eyes, but you can keep your eyes open if that's comfortable for you. I just like to close my eyes because that really brings my attention inward. My focus is inward, and helps me to connect in with my emotions then. So then I'll just breathe here, and I'll do a bit of a body scan. That's the next step. So just gently bringing your awareness down from the top of your head all the way through your body down to your toes, to just do a little bit of a check-in with the body to see what's happening. So you might notice some tension, say up in your shoulders, or you might notice a gnawing sensation in your solar plexus area. This is just basically helping you to connect into your body and your emotional state and pick up on clues from your body as to what the emotion is that you might be feeling. So I'll generally do that, and I'll hone in on the different areas to see what it is that I'm feeling in my body. And I'll just continue to breathe while connecting in to my body and my emotions. And then sometimes I'll hone in on an area So say, for example, if I'm feeling a gnawing sensation in my gut, my abdomen, or my solar plexus, I'll gravitate towards that area. I'll put my awareness on it, or even sometimes it's nice to put your hand on it to focus your attention there. And I'll just breathe into that area, and I'll ask what this energy is, or I'll ask what the emotion is, what's the feeling. And then I'll just breathe, continue breathing there, or you can come back to your heart and just breathe, and I'll wait to see what answer I get. So I'll just breathe and be open and receptive to an answer that usually does come to me once I get into that place of being open to receive. Just by breathing in my heart, I'll be given some information as to what this energy is, what this emotion is. So that's the next step, to identify the emotion, to name the emotion. So you might already have a good idea what the emotion is. You might have to connect in with the energy and to just breathe, ask the question, what's this emotion? And then just wait and receive the answer from your body, from your heart, from your energy, or even your spirit guides. Your higher self might help you out with this. You receive some sort of information, whether it's a flash of a vision, you might hear something, you might just know, you'll get a flash of an inspiration. The information will come to you in some way, shape, or form. And you acknowledge that emotion. So let's say anger. Anger is the emotion that I've identified in my gut. I know it's anger. And then the next step I usually take is, why am I angry? I'll ask the question, why am I angry? What's this anger about? What's this anger trying to tell me? I'll ask that question. And again, I'll come back into my heart and I'll breathe and wait for that information to bubble up from my body, from my emotional body, into my conscious awareness. Again, you might see or sense or just know or hear, but once you've asked the question, it's just getting into that state of receiving the answer, waiting to receive the answer, as that information will come up and be presented to you in some way, shape, or form that you can understand. And sometimes you might have to go a little bit deeper with it. So you might hear you're angry because someone has overstepped your boundaries. And that anger is coming in to tell you that you need to put in a boundary. But you might have to go a little bit deeper. It just depends. Sometimes there's one level, and then sometimes there's a deeper level where you have to get to the root of the anger, of what it's really about, underneath the surface. So then asking that question, what's the root of this anger? Or do I need to go deeper with this? Depending on what the answer was, just following that thread of energy to completely process out that energy. And generally you'll know when you get to the end of it, because you'll feel it. You might have that eureka moment where you're like, okay, I get it, I've gotten to the bottom of it, I understand now why I'm angry, why this emotion is coming up, and what information this emotion is trying to convey to me. Because that's what it's all about. The emotion has an important message for you that it's trying to communicate. It's a matter of tuning into yourself, identifying that emotion, asking the question why you are feeling that emotion, and receiving that message so you can process out that energy. And then take action if necessary, depending on whatever that information has been conveyed to you. And that's generally what I do to get to the bottom of my emotions and process that energy out. So it does take some practice to tune into yourself, your heart and your body and your emotions. So you might have to do this a couple of times to really feel into it, to really tune in. And that's okay. It takes as long as it takes to get here. But then there are also other ways of going about it. So for example, if you have a hard time identifying your emotions, a nice way to go about it is to use a pendulum and to just basically download an emotional chart from the internet and douse what it is that you're feeling so you can identify the emotion. That's a nice one. So you've already identified the emotion, and then you can continue the process and go in to that emotion and ask it what's going on here, why you're feeling this way. Or you can journal if that's more appropriate for you, if that feels better for you, to just journal why you're feeling that way. Sometimes that can help you when you're connected in and the words just stream out, and that's how you process the energy. That's another nice option as well to process out emotions. It's just about finding the way that works best for you. I'm also hearing movement, if it's exercise or dancing, to identify the emotion and then process that energy out through physical movement. That could also be beneficial for some of you as well. Just asking if there's anything else they want me to convey in this video. But I think that's it. So there are many different ways to go about this and identifying and processing your emotions and how important it is for you, for your health and your well-being, and to keep that energy from flowing. So you're basically functioning at your optimal level with no energetic blocks. And yeah, finding the way that's best for you. So I hope you found this helpful. It was just a quick kind of run through of practical steps of what I like to do to sit with myself and process out the emotions. Do let me know if you found it helpful, or if there's other ways that you like to do, other things that you do to process out your emotions and sit with yourself. I'd be really interested to hear that. And as always, thank you so much for being here, for tuning in. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.